Hello students, so I am here with the political science third chapter, sorry second chapter, because first chapter is removed from your syllabus. So we already done our first chapter, what is democracy and why democracy. So let's come to the next chapter, is constitutional design. So listen very carefully, okay. So today uh, we will sort NCERT Political Science Class 9 chapters. Okay, chapters second, where we would talk about constitutional design. Now, starting with constitutional design, we would understand why there is requirement for a constitution. So the constitution basically has written rules, and once you have a written rules, these written rules are to be obeyed by all of the population. So that's first and foremost important things. The second is the winning party. Winning party cannot change or modify these rules based on their comfort zone. So what happen is, once a constitution has been laid out, if I want to amend the laws, amend matlab change, okay, laws, those are not a kind of easy process. You cannot modify it for your own benefit or your own profit. So ultimately, it would be benefit of all that would be registered with the writing of the constitution, and whatever rule and amendments there would be applicable to all. Amends and amendments both are same, okay. Now let's say, why have a housing society? You have a group of societies, okay, which are working together. All of these the kind of common constitutions. So constitution is not only for nation. What we say, constitution is practically for even a kind of housing societies, the member of the group, a community, a corporation society, a, a club, and for everyone. You have kind of set of rules that are mentioned. So these are the rules be followed within the society, within the nation, and therefore we call this kind of constitution. It determines first what is the right of the individuals and citizens have. Secondly, it tries to give power to the ruling body. So in the case of nation, that's the government. So it gives the power to the government, what ways you have to formulate and what ways you must work out, and what are the requirements, functions. Now, among this, Constitution of South Africa, okay, Constitution of South Africa, you come to the South Africa. अभी हम लोग मेन पॉइंट में आए हैं, वो पहले मैंने जस्ट एक डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के बारे में. तो यू नो ऑल्सो आवर फादर ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर, ओके. नाउ कम टू द next point. The point is the Constitution of South Africa is one of the finest constitution that has been laid down in the world. It was with the effort of Nelson Mandela. He was the famous person, okay, and 7 others who were basically tried for treasons by the white South African government, and finally they were imprisoned in Robben Island. So this Robben Island lies near the Cape Town, and I request each and every students, please read your chapter, okay. Whatever question I will give you to write, don't write from the net, because most of the students, they are copied from the net. It will not work, okay. So we are talking about the Robben Island, na? So this Robben Island lies near the Cape Town of South Africa. Here you have a imprisonment for nearly 28 years, and means who? Nelson Mandela. He was in jail in 28 years, and finally they were released, and South Africa got their independence on 26th April 1994. The final constitution laid down came effect on 1997, so it's very recent, kinds of 20 years back. And this constitutions that has been laid down in South Africa is unique. Why it is unique? Because it talks about equality for all races and equality for all men and women. Now, no one should be excluded from the ideas of the constitutions as it's laid down in South Africa. No one would be considered inferior or minor, and everyone would be at kinds of equal stack. Again, in South Africa, in South Africa is a kind of a group of mixed culture. We could say with 3/4 of the black reside that region. Then of the remaining 1/4, you have two races: the white Europeans and the colored or mixed race, which is mainly the Indians. Again, therefore, you can say you have black, whites, colored, and the mixed colored race that is seen here. As a result, South Africa is also known as the Rainbow Nation. So you have another common name, that is the Rainbow Nation. Why it is called Rainbow Nations? Sometimes there could be a questions talk about the framing of the constitution in the Rainbow Nation. So that would be a kind of tricky questions. You must first of all what is Rainbow Nation. Once you know what is Rainbow Nations, then only you would be able to answer the questions. Okay. Now the next is apartheid. Apartheid is a term that is given specially to their racial discriminations that exist in the region of South Africa. Now, this racial discrimination was predominantly between the blacks and the whites. So, therefore, for the example, section 37, there were which there were which by law says that bathing areas has been reserved for whites and blacks. So separate transportation for whites and blacks, separate basic amenities for whites and blacks, and that was kind of racial discrimination that existing. None of the blacks had the voting rights, and only whites had the voting rights. Now, since only whites had the voting rights, they were the only people who had say in the government formations, and once they say in the government, they could to manipulate the things based on their convenience. Now, if we talk about blacks and whites, there are a kind of basic differences between uh, what were their demands. Okay, so black of one hand demanding equality, means one hand from black demanding the equality in the social and economic aspects. However whites of more focused on the privileged they were uh, taking out, and property they had. So black were basically living more for kinds of subsistence, whoever whites were trying to make or establish their influence. So ultimately there was compromise to place between in the blacks and the whites, and the segregation or the differentiate between blacks and the whites existed slowly and gradually, was resolving out. African National Congress, ANC, African National Congress is one of the leading body that work for the kind of removal of racial discrimination or the apartheid we say. Again, this African National Congress means ANC was further united of workers, unions and communist party. As we said already talk about need for a constitutions and the ideas was writing down the rules. Once that written cannot be changed and leading party cannot draw undue benefit written in the constitutions. Now, once we said we have a kind of written rules which are known as the constitutions. Okay, written rules known as the constitutions. Okay. Example, there is a kind of starting paragraph or a kind of introduction to the set of rules and the set of rules and that introductions known as preamble. Preamble is given here. Okay, this idea constitutions this idea of constitutions of preamble gain momentum after the American revolutions and the French Revolution. So after the American Revolution and the French Revolutions, you had the ideas of democracy that that were moving into the spirit of the people, and they were trying to have a kind of more independent and more liberal thinking. So that forms the basis. However, there is one very interesting line that you must remember. It's very important for your objectives purposes questions that are based on reasoning. So that line is very important. What is the line? The line is, all countries that have constitutions are not necessarily democratic. Okay, this line is very important. So it can be a as we said housing society or cooperative society, but it not necessary that a democratic society. However, all the countries that are democratic will have a constitutions. So let's say India is a democratic country. India will have a constitutions. Let's talk about another country which has a constitutions, but the major leading party, they are the kind of communist party. So there is no democracy in that nation, still that nations has constitutions. This concept is very important important for understand. Now, how did we work around with the making of Indian constitutions? That would be essence of lectures now. Okay. So now we talk about making of Indian constitutions. Making of Indian constitution. There is one thing need to be very clear about in the Indian constitutions. We working for the independent. So after 1947, our main ideas was the kind of differences that had been created between Hindu and Muslim, and the kind of religious violence have taken place in India should first of all be stopped. Everyone, be it Hindu, be it Muslims, or be it belonging to any religions, should have a equal say framing of the constitutions. So that was the first thing we need to look around. The another thing that we need to look around was, so the first thing was the kind of India Pakistan division. Okay, the kind of India Pakistan division, we could say. So division of the two nations, and secondly was the fragmentation of India into small princely state. At the time of independence, we had nearly a more than 1,000 small princely state that were their end, they were give the right either join with India or with Pakistan during that time. Now, again, when we were fighting for independence, there were two major waves that were coming up. The first wave talk about liberating ourselves from the foreign rule. So the idea was is to remove any kind of foreign pressure in India. And secondly was the rejuvenate feeling of nationalism and patriotism, so bringing a kind of socialist movement with a kind of societies that could be transformed for the betterment for the people living there. So the whole ideas started at 1928. Okay, this idea started with 1928 with Motilal Nehru and 8 other leaders drafted the constitution in the very initial days. In 1931, the resolution was passed in the Karachi session of India National Congress, where we talk about the constitutional framework. We talk about universal adult franchise. We talk about right to freedom and protecting the minoritism. In India, in 1937, we had separate election. Okay, separate election taking place for or the various legislative consensus, and these elections kind of were not considered democratic because the kind of separate elections that were taking place, and therefore we were fighting to adopt ideas from the government of India at 1935. Now we were laying down the ideas of the constitutions. There were two major parameter, the internal factor and the external factor. Internal external factor external parameter. We were the most important fact was government at 1935, and among the external parameter we were taking ideas from the constitution of the various nations. So we taking the idea from the France, USA, Canada, and so on so forth. So we are taking out different, we are taking for different important aspect of each of this, and we were trying to amalgamate those into written constitution of India. Now first coming on to the government of India 1935. 1935. 1935. This government of India 1935 laid down some major points. First of all was separation of power between union and the state. So there was a kind of federal setup. There we are looking for, we were talking about separate electorate. We were talking about federal courts, direct elections direct election procedures, and establishment of various service commission. So all these basic ideas that were led again, as we said, the leaders again as we said, the leaders were inspired by the things that were happening around the world. So French Revolution, that we have read French Revolution in first chapter history. French Revolution, the socialist revolution in Russia. Then we have a parliamentary democracy in Britain, and bill and what bill of rights in USA. So all those were in the uh, founding stone for the constitution in the India. So if we talk about the major things from England, we borrowed the parliamentary government, the rule of law from United States of America. We borrowed fundamental rights, the judicial review, the Canada. We talk about unitary features of the federalism. France is very important when we took the idea of equality, fraternity, and liberty. We will discuss in details in we talk about the Springville letter. This section we also took the ideas of directive principle of state policy from Ireland. Okay, Ireland. Then we took out the suspensions of fundamental rights during the emergency procedures from the Germany. So all of these ideas we shared from the various nations. Okay, that you read in the history. Okay, now the elected representative of the Constitution Assembly. It had their first meeting in December 1946, and it was within the kind of framework of 2 years and some months. So you had nearly 3 years. You have a constitution that was adopted in 26 November 1949, and finally it come into effect on 26 January 1950, and it is known as the Republic Day, as we celebrate Republic Day on 26 January. Now in 1950 we celebrate our Republic Day, where we had the constitutions of India that came actually into effect. Now over the last 50 years we have been working rigorously for the writing of the constitutions. We have been taking idea and suggestion from the various nations, the various regions throughout the world. Again, one of the important aspects here is the things that have been affecting the large social group. So there is a kind of huge populations set up, as you can understand, and bringing a law that affects or is implemented by each and everyone in the country is a big deal. So the constitution is one of the lengthiest constitution in the world, and we have nearly more than 2000 amendments that have taken place. Each and every word of constitution assembly or constitutions in the constituent assembly that was spoken has been preserved, उसको मतलब रखा जाता है, and has been given due respect even as of now. So that's the basic things try to understand under the constituent assembly. Now again, the drafting took place by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, further as we move forward, so he was one of the major reformer, and he lived in a kind of a revolutionary approach for the upliftment of the lower caste. Again, there were nearly 114 days over 3 years, and every word we were said, spoken, and have been preserved. And during this period, we call this as a period of constitute assembly debates. There were constitute debates that were going on, considering a fact whether this should be part of the constitution or they should not be the part of the constitutions. So those were the things that were discussed, and one of the important things that many of the students miss out is Mahatma Gandhi was not member of the constitute assembly that led to the drafting of the constitution. So in India now, Mahatma Gandhi had a vision, and his vision was clearly started in Young India in 1931, where he talked about each and every poor should have a equal rights in the society. There should be no high class and no lower class that should exist. Okay, then uh, then he talk about uh, his dream was even shared by B.R. Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. But there were differences opinion of B.R. Ambedkar and as well as गांधी जी, दोनों के बातों में क्या थी, डिफरेंस थी. ठीक है. Gandhi ji talk about reforming the Varna system. However, Ambedkar talk about the total uh, abolishment of Varna system. He talk about a kind of separate electorate. However, Gandhi ji talk about the reservation of the seats within the electorate. Gandhi ji approach reformations. However, Ambedkar approach was revolutionary in nature. Now, Now, coming on the preamble, we said preamble is a kind of introductory documents that exist at this introductory documents is written in the following word. Now, some of the words very important. Okay, some of the words very important. Sometimes there is a kind of direct sequence or sometimes which of the following is not being a part of preamble is asks. Let's understand word by a word. So you have those words which are all capitals, that very important to understand. So sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. Now this liberty, equality and fraternity has been taken from the French constitutions, coming on to each and every word. So Will talks about firstly the sovereignty. So sovereignty is basically people have exclusive rights in the process of decisions making. Then you have socialist, where you have with which is equally divided between the rich and the poor. Now we talk about secularism, where we say all religions are equal before the law. You cannot give undue privileges to one is specific religions. We talk about democratic, where all people are enjoying political rights. Where we talk about republic, we say the head of the state is elected and it's not hereditary. uh, that's very important. We say India, we have kind of republic societies where the head of the state is elected and he is a not a hereditary. That means the king system or the monarchy system is not exist. Coming on to the next four important things. Justice, first is the justice. So each and every one should be given to equal justice before before the code and before the law. There should be no discrimination based on caste, gender or religions when we talk about. Then liberty, we say there should be no unreasonable restriction on the citizens when we talk about. Then equality, we say all are equal before the law. Fourth one is fraternity, is a very important, where we say all of us should behave as we are a member of a some same family or a common family, and member none of the members is a inferiors. Now this aspect of fraternity gain momentum during the constitution and was written in South Africa. So there these aspects where there was a huge differences between blacks and whites dominated the uh, scene of the constitutions. Next are some of the major contributors. As we said, Mahatma Gandhi was not one of the contributor or was not one of the members of the Constituent Assembly. Now coming on to some of the major contributors. Okay, contributors. First one is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Okay, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Where is the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel? No, it's not given here. But I want to tell you about the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Okay. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is he had his he had his role in Bardoli Satyagraha, then uniting all the princely state across India, so integration of the state. Abul Kalam Azad. Abul Kalam Azad is also not here. Maybe some are only mentioned here. No? Abul Kalam Azad. What? Abul Kalam Azad. He opposed separate Muslim policy and he was later the first education minister in the first cabinet that was released. The next one is T.T. Krishnamacharya, one of the members of drafting committee and he was later the finance minister. Then Dr. Rajendra Prasad, he became the first president of Free India and he led the Champaran Satyagraha. Then you had Jaipal Singh. Okay, Jaipal Singh. Here is Jaipal Singh. Who was initially the first captain of the first national hockey team. Then he was also the founder of Adivasi Mahasabha for the upliftment of the tribal. Then next one is the H.C. Mukherjee, the vice chairman of the Constituent Assembly. Then Durgabai Deshmukh was the founder of Andhra Mahila Sabha and she was basically proponent of women upliftment and women empowerment. Then Baldev Singh led the Panthik Akali Party in Punjab Assembly and he was later the defense minister. Then Kanhaiya Lal Manikyal Munshi, he was one of the founder of Swatantrata Party. Then we are already talked about B.R. Ambedkar, who was later law minister of first cabinet and he worked for the upliftment of the untouchables. He had a kind of revolutionary approach and his views were different from Gandhiji philosophy. Okay. Then S.P. Mukherjee means Syama Prasad Mukherjee. S.P. Mukherjee was the founder president of Bharatiya Jan Sangh. Then Jawaharlal Nehru. Some of the words are very important. Very much. He was the first prime minister that Free India, and he said at the stroke of the midnight or when the whole world sleep, India was awake to life and freedom. So the ideas of basically bringing is more bringing is more uh, bringing in more freedom, bringing in more power, and once you have more freedom and more power, you accountable, and you have higher responsibilities. That responsibilities lies in the hand of the government, and the government would work for the upliftment of the of all and all. So that was the basic ideas of Jawaharlal Nehru and his philosophy. Next one, the Sarojini Naidu. He uh, so, Sarojini Naidu led the Salt Satyagraha, talked to Gandhiji regarding women's participation to the various movements for India's independence. He was also known as the Nightingale of the India. Okay, इसको भारत कोकिला भी कहा जाता है. Then Somnath Lahiri, he was the leader of Communist Party of India. So those who some of the major contributors during that time. With this, we cover the basic of the making of Indian constitutions, why we actually require a constitutions, okay, and why all democratic party and why all democratic party or democratic nations laid down. In further chapter, we'll talk more about democratic rights and principles. So later on, I will give you the extra questions and important questions that uh, that that will very much important for your exam. So thank you.